Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody, and happy Sunday, 15th of June. It is 8 p.m. in UK and Central European time, 9 p.m. And tonight, there's a whole team that work with me to create the business. And this particular live is about the joy of business. And first of all, what is the joy of business? It is actually enjoying what you do as your business and as your work. And so one of the topics that had come up recently was people not seeing themselves as the valuable product. So what about if we started the live today with, do you see you as valuable? Do you see your knowing as valuable? And so this was huge, where we would be in a Business Done Different class, which is the class that I facilitate with Joy Business. And people would recognize that they are not valuing themselves. They're not valuing their time. They're not valuing their energy. They're not valuing their contribution. And so I started looking at this topic and I started to recognize, if I am not committed to me, I won't value me. And I know this might be, for some of you guys watching, you might say, what? If you are 100% committed to you, you will value you more. You won't ever look at, this is what I shouldn't be doing. You won't ever be looking at judgment. This is right, this is wrong. You're being you. So when we have the conversation about, are you willing to value you? If you're watching this live now or in the future, what comes up for you when I ask that question? I don't value me because of, I'm stupid, let's say, was my point of view. Or I don't value me because of, I don't have this much amount of money. They're all what we call reasons and justifications. And that's what you're using. You're committing to judgment instead of committing to seeing you as valuable. And so in Access Consciousness, we talk about Joy Business is built on the fundamental tools of Access Consciousness. And we talk about your infinite knowing, receiving, perceiving, and being. And so to make you valuable, you've really got to start looking for, what do I know here? Which is, it's one of the most beautiful tools. It's the mantra of Access Consciousness, empowering you to know what you know. It's allowing you to know what you know. And so for me, I had made judgment valuable. I had made the amount of money in the bank valuable. In fact, I had made it my God. What I mean by that is, it was more important than me and my life force and the way that I live my life. And so I had made other people's opinions, validation, valuable. And all of this, you're giving away your power, your ability to create your life for external validation, money, relationships, someone's point of view, someone's opinion. And so if you really want to grow and develop, you've got to start with really taking a look at what is valuable to you. For me, happiness is super valuable. Are you making your happiness valuable? Having a body, do you make your body valuable? Taking care of your body, nurturing your body. Because one of the things that I made valuable, and I got to this by using the tools of Joy Business, was hard work. Are you hardwired into working hard? Do you make hard work valuable? And so here's the tool that you can use to, basically, if you have a whiteboard and you're cleaning a clean slate on the whiteboard, destroy and uncreate everything that I had decided is not valuable about me. Destroy and uncreate all my judgments of myself, all the points of views. And so one of the things that we look at deeply in Joy Business is your points of views and your judgments. Are they stopping you from creating what you would like to have? Are they supporting you to create what you would like to have? and the whole ethos of Joy Business is your, this is the beautiful part, you're living, you are in the business of living. You are in the business of being alive. And so many of us have been entrained from the moment that we hear our first words, to find value outside of you in judgment. And so that journey into valuing you can actually begin right now if you're watching this live. And for some of you watching already, you may have become aware of the places that you made something valuable to you, but you didn't even question, how come this is valuable to me? Is this valuable to me? Is judgment valuable to me? Or is living my life valuable to me? You got this free body created with consciousness, and you got this life, you're living your life, your body. Is it valuable for you to enjoy it, to live it? And so in Joy Business, what we invite you to is your talents, your abilities, your knowing. What do you know? Access Consciousness's mantra, empowering you to know what you know. What do you know about business that nobody else knows? And so this commitment to your knowing, receiving, perceiving, and being, they're the harmonics of committing to your life, valuing you, knowing, receiving, perceiving, and being. You can find out way more of these topics in a Business Done Different class, which is Joy Business, or in an Access Bars class and Foundation. And so in valuing you, you've got to start to look at, do you value kindness? Do you value creation? Do you value your talents? Do you value your abilities? Do you value gratitude, or do you prefer complaining and moaning rather than being grateful for you? And so the journey into valuing you is one that you have to go inside, not outside. And so what have you decided is valuable that actually isn't, and that you haven't questioned it? Beautiful. Now, the thing about this is, what's this to do with business? If I don't value me, can I receive money? Really receive it? Because when someone pays you, last month in my business, all of the payments that came in, about 150 payments, actually probably more because we had a big online X-Men class. All of those payments are somebody flowing energy towards Rachel O'Brien and towards Access Consciousness. And so if I don't value and I'm not proud of the work that I produce, can I actually receive money? Can I receive that energy flow? And start taking a look at that. Whether you're cleaning your house or working as a barista in a coffee store, we talk about I am creativity and Access Consciousness, which is the energy by which you do your work, the energy by which you deliver that work. I am creativity, the vision of my life and the vision of the world that I would like to live in, and the work that I do as an expression of that. And so for me, today I went to my favorite farm shop in Milford in the UK. I live in the UK now. And I met this beautiful young guy. And the last time I was in that shop, he went and he found my favorite coffee because it wasn't on the display unit. And he talked to me and he engaged. So the experience of my living, that business inspires more living. And the people working there inspire more engagement. Okay. And so this is what I'm talking about when I'm talking about the joy of business, that the living energy, the enthusiasm for living doesn't wane. It is very much present. And so, of course, going into that it's actually a farm. It's called Secrets of Milford. Of course, going into Secrets of Milford, this farm shop with the most beautiful foods and the most beautiful staff, creates more energy in my living. Whereas most of the people that I talk to when they come into Joy Business and they start looking at the way they're living their daily life, they've been doing something that really isn't valuable to them. And then they start looking at, well, what is valuable to me? What do I know? And it's such a beautiful way to live when you know that you can commit to living. It requires you first, though, to value yourself. Someone is asking, good evening, Rachel. The translation in Italian will be delayed. That's okay. Yes. And it will be published later. Absolutely. Beautiful. So if you guys have any questions in regard to where you're not valuing you, please pop them on the thread. Just a little piece of information for you guys watching this, whether it's now or in the future. When we are children, we pick up all the projections, expectations of the environment around us. Up until the age of 2, we actually think we are our parents' projections and expectations. And we believe that's what we are and who we are, which isn't true, because these are all confined points of view. So you fit in, you make yourself small to fit into the points of views. And so you may have grown up with a mom who didn't think that she was valuable. Like my mom was the most beautiful seamstress. She had amazing gifts and talents with clothes and making dresses. She didn't receive that value monetarily. She didn't allow herself to have receiving of money for that gift and that ability. So one of the things we often do is we don't value what's really easy for us. Remember though, what really is going on with that point of view is you've been trained to work hard, not to charge for what's easy for you. And so you can run the access clearing statement on that. So every word that I learned or was hardwired into working hard, and that I can only receive money through working hard, destroy and uncreate all that, destroy and uncreate those points of views, those judgments that are putting your value in working hard instead of receiving money with ease, joy, and glory. And this is the access consciousness clearing statement. Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all 100 shorts, boys, povads, creations, based and beyonds. And so the purpose of this live tonight is to invite you to start becoming aware of the places where you're valuing something automatically just because others do. Let's say judgment, points of views, working hard, business is stress, work is difficult, money is hard. I'm not valuable unless I have this partner or this relationship or this validation or this amount of money or this job. So that instead of maintaining those judgments, that you can begin to question, well, is this actually valuable for me? What do I know in regard to what is valuable? And so I would love to live in a world where you can get paid for your gifts and your abilities and your talents. It seems to be the most challenging thing for people to receive, is getting paid for what they're naturally great at. I'm naturally great at talking to people, particularly on the phone, or just calling into people exactly when they require someone to talk to, you know? And so whatever it is that you're naturally gifted at, would you be willing to allow yourself to get paid for that? And then you can have the joy of living because you're actually doing what you love. And that, my point of view is, and the point of view of Joy Business is, you do not have to do something for money that you do not enjoy. You do not have to work hard. You can actually, your point of view creates your reality. Your point of view creates your business reality, your work reality. Your point of view creates your financial reality. And so this can be quite a challenging part of the joy business, is everything that you're experiencing in your life is actually a point of view. And if it's something that you're not enjoying, in the joy of, then there's some unconsciousness there, which is creating that problem. And when you move to consciousness, which is being present with it, and you change your point of view, you can just change your point of view. Oh, I can choose to value me now. I can choose to be a gift. I can choose to be a contribution. And this is such a, we haven't been trained to take action, to make choices that work for us. Choice is a superpower. It's one of the most valuable things to me in the world, is that I always have another choice, and every choice creates my life showing up. And I didn't even know this. 2012, I didn't even know that my choices, my life was showing up with a lot of drama. It wasn't all of life with ease, joy, and glory. It was hard and it was suffering. You're so welcome, Lorena. People are saying thank you on the thread. You're so welcome for this conversation. And so my life, I was experiencing my living through unconsciousness because it was showing up difficult and hard. All of life comes to me with ease and joy and glory. All of my living comes to me with ease, joy, and glory. Then you're allowing consciousness and presence in, so you can see the viewpoints. I had built my whole world around the viewpoints that I grew up around. My whole world around the viewpoints that I grew up around. And what was shown up were these viewpoints of difficulty and hard. And you can change them when you are willing to be present with them and make a different choice. Yes, I will value me. What if that's the beautiful tool of access consciousness? If you have 10 seconds to live the rest of your life, what would you choose? Would you choose to value you? Would you choose to value what you know? Would you choose to value ease? Would you choose to value joy instead of heaviness and suffering? And would you make choices for you and your body that will gift you more lightness? So this conversation begins with the question, are you willing to value you? Starts there. Are you willing to value your time? Now you actually have to receive what you know and the gift of you. Are you willing to value your contribution? You know, when you walk into someone's home, do you immediately improve the environment? How do you know that you're being a contribution? Things become greater, more peaceful, kinder. And so this contribution piece is such a beautiful way to live. And even if you don't get paid, are you a contribution? That's the question. And that for me is the value, that I will improve your living just by being me. I don't have to prove it. I don't have to validate it. I know I can create greater. So I hope this conversation contributes. What do I mean by contribute? Makes your living greater, gifts you more peace, gifts you more joy, gifts you more happiness. That's valuable to me. Is that valuable to you? So I hope this conversation contributes to you wherever you are in the world. And what if you could make kindness and consciousness and ease and joy and glory and choice and gratitude and no judgment greater and more valuable than anything on our planet? Beautiful. Thanks so much to the translators that showed up to translate this call. And if you would like to discover more of the Joy Business Tools, there's a beautiful Joy Business book. I should have brought it out before I did the live. I forgot. We can put the link for it in here. There's a beautiful Joy Business book that will start you on your journey of valuing you and making choices to value you. And then if you want to go even further, there are beautiful Joy Business classes. I'm doing a Joy Business class, Business Done Different, Business Done from Contribution, businesses that inspire, okay? Created to inspire, created to create greater. This Friday, the 19th of June. And wherever you are in the world, whether you're watching this now or in the future, please don't dismiss the contribution that you can be. For me, I see these tiny interactions between people and conversations that may only take 10 minutes, and I see people's lives changing in those conversations because they enrich and they birth growth in contribution. And I personally, I would love to live in a world where we can function from contribution and making things greater instead of complaining and moaning about what doesn't work. What if you could be the change that does work? And are you willing to be that valuable? Beautiful. Happy Sunday, wherever you are in this in this world right now. And if you're watching this in the future, thank you so much. And being the valuable product will transform your whole life, and it will allow you to experience your living and your business and your work and your relationships and your body, everything in a greater way, and it will gift you so much peace. But don't listen to me, give it a go. Bye everyone, happy Sunday, and hope to see you soon. Bye everyone.